The bolts crack, the doors fall open, a wave of fresh air rushes inside the train. People, inhumanly packed, crammed, buried under incredible heaps of luggage, suitcases, trunks, packages, crates, bundles of every description, everything that had been their past and was to start their future. Monstrously squeezed together, they have fainted from heat, suffocated, crushed one another. Now they push towards the open doors, breathing like fish cast out on the sand. Attention! Out and take your luggage with you. Take everything. Pile all your stuff near the exits. Yes, your coats too. It is summer. March to the left. Understand? Sir, what's going to happen to us? They jump from the train onto the gravel, anxious, worn out. Where are you people from? Sosnowiec Boundin. Sir, what's going to happen to us? They repeat the question stubbornly, gazing into our tired eyes. I don't know. I don't understand Polish. It is the camp law. People going to their death must be deceived to the very end. This is the only permissible form of charity. The heat is tremendous. The sun hangs directly over our heads. The white, hot sky quivers. The air vibrates. An occasional breeze feels like a sizzling blast from a furnace. Our lips are parched. The mouth fills with the salty taste of blood. The body is weak and heavy from lying in the sun. Water. A huge multicolored wave of people loaded down with luggage pours from the train like a blind, mad river trying to find a new bed. But before they have a chance to recover, before they can draw a breath of fresh air and look at the sky, bundles are snatched from their hands, coats ripped off their backs, their purses and umbrellas taken away. But please, sir, it's for the sun. I cannot. Verboten! Prohibited. Banned. One of us barks through clenched teeth. There's an SS man standing behind your back, calm, efficient, watchful. Meine Herrschaften, this way, ladies and gentlemen. Try not to throw your things around, please. Show some goodwill, he says courteously, his restless hands playing with the slender whip. Of course, they answer as they pass, and now they walk alongside the train somewhat more cheerfully. A woman reaches down quickly to pick up her handbag. The whip flies. The woman screams, stumbles, and falls under the feet of the surging crowd. Behind her, a child cries in a thin little voice, Mamele, a very small girl with tangled black curls. The heaps grow. Suitcases, bundles, blankets, coats, handbags that open as they fall, spilling coins, gold, watches. Mountains of bread pile up at the exits. Heaps of marmalade, jams, masses of meat, sausages, sugar spills on the gravel. Trucks loaded with people start up with a deafening roar and drive off amidst the wailing and screaming of the women separated from their children and the stupefied silence of the men left behind. They're the ones who had been ordered to step to the right, the healthy and the young who will go to the camp. In the end, they too will not escape death, but first they must work. Trucks leave and return without interruption, as on a monstrous conveyor belt. A Red Cross van drives back and forth incessantly. It transports the gas that will kill these people. The enormous cross on the hood, red as blood, seems to dissolve in the sun. The Canada men at the trucks cannot stop for a single moment, even to catch their breath. They shove the people up the steps, pack them in tightly, 60 per truck more or less. Nearby stands a young, clean-shaven gentleman, an SS officer with a notebook in his hand. For each departing truck he enters a mark. 16 gone means 1,000 people, more or less. The gentleman is calm, precise. No truck can leave without a signal from him, or a mark in his notebook. Ordnung muss sein, order received. The marks swell into thousands, the thousands into whole transports, which afterwards we shall simply call from Salonika, from Strasbourg, from Rotterdam. This one will be called Sosnowiec Boundin. The new prisoners from Sosnowiec Boundin will receive serial numbers 132-2. 1,000, of course, though afterwards we shall simply say 131-2 for short. The transports swell into weeks, months, years. When the war is over, they will count up the marks in their notebooks, all 4.5 million of them. The bloodiest battle of the war, the greatest victory of the strong, united Germany. Ein Reich, ein Volk, ein Führer. A kingdom, a people, a leader. The train has been emptied. A thin, pockmarked SS man peers inside, shakes his head in disgust, and motions to our group, pointing his finger at the door. Rein, clean it up. We climb inside. In the corners, amid human excrement and abandoned wristwatches, lie squashed, trampled infants, naked little monsters with enormous heads and bloated bellies. We carry them out like chickens, holding several in each hand. Don't take them to the trucks, pass them on to the women, says the SS man, lighting a cigarette. His cigarette lighter is not working properly. He examines it carefully. Take them, for God's sake, I explode. The women run from me in horror, covering their eyes. The name of God sounds strangely pointless, since the women and the infants will go on the trucks, every one of them without exception. We all know what this means, and we look at each other with hate and horror. What, you don't want to take them? Asked the pockmarked SS man with a note of surprise and reproach in his voice, and reaches for his revolver. You mustn't shoot, I'll carry them. A tall, gray-haired woman takes the little corpses out of my hands, and for an instant gazes straight into my eyes. My poor boy, she whispers and smiles at me. Then she walks away, staggering along the path. I lean against the side of the train. I am terribly tired. Someone pulls at my sleeve. En avant, forward, to the rails. Come on. I look up, but the face swims before my eyes, dissolves, huge and transparent, melts into the motionless trees in the sea of people. I blink rapidly. Henry. Listen, Henry, are we good people? That's stupid. Why do you ask? You see, my friend, you see. I don't know why, but I am furious, simply furious with these people. Furious because I must be here because of them. I feel no pity. I am not sorry they're going to the gas chamber. Damn them all. I could throw myself at them, beat them with my fist. It must be pathological. I just can't understand. On the contrary, it is natural, predictable, calculated. The ramp exhausts you, you rebel. And the easiest way to relieve your hate is to turn against someone weaker. Why, I'd even call it healthy. It's simple logic, compris? He props himself up comfortably against the heap of rails. Look at the Greeks. They know how to make the best of it. They stuff their bellies with anything they find. One of them has just devoured a full jar of marmalade. Pigs. Tomorrow half of them will die of the shits. Pigs? You've been hungry. Pigs, I repeat furiously. I close my eyes. The air is filled with ghastly cries. The earth trembles beneath me. I can feel sticky moisture on my eyelids. My throat is completely dry. The morbid procession streams on and on. Trucks growl like mad dogs. I shut my eyes tight, but I can still see corpses dragged from the train, trampled infants, cripples piled on top of the dead, wave after wave. Freight cars roll in. The heaps of clothing, suitcases, and bundles grow. People climb out, look at the sun, take a few breaths, beg for water, get into the trucks, drive away. And again, freight cars roll in. Again, people. The scenes become confused in my mind. I am not sure if all of this is actually happening or if I am dreaming. There's a humming inside my head. I feel that I must vomit. Henry tugs at my arm. Don't sleep. We're off to load up the loot. All the people are gone. In the distance, the last few trucks roll along the roads in clouds of dust. The train is left. Several SS officers promenade up and down the ramp. The silver glitters on their collars. Their boots shine, their red, beefy faces shine. Among them there is a woman. Only now I realize she has been here all along. Withered, flat-chested, bony, her thin, colorless hair pulled back and tied in a Nordic knot. Her hands are in the pockets of her wide skirt. With a rat-like, resolute smile glued on her thin lips, she sniffs around the corners of the ramp. She detests feminine beauty with the hatred of a woman who is herself repulsive and knows it. Yes, I have seen her many times before, and I know her well. She is the commandant of the FKL. She has come to look over the new crop of women. For some of them, instead of going on the trucks, will go on foot to the concentration camp. There are boys, the barbers from Zana, will shave their heads and will have a good laugh at their outside world modesty. We proceed to load the loot. We lift huge trunks, heave them onto the trucks. There they are, arranged in stacks, packed tightly. Occasionally somebody slashes one open with a knife for pleasure or in search of vodka and perfume. One of the crates falls open. Suits, shirts, books drop out on the ground. I pick up a small, heavy package. I unwrap it. Gold, about 2 handfuls, bracelets, rings, brooches, diamonds. Keep here. Give it here, an SS man says calmly, holding up his briefcase, already full of gold and colorful foreign currency. He locks the case, hands it to an officer, takes another, an empty one, and stands by the next truck, waiting. The gold will go to the Reich. It is hot, terribly hot. Our throats are dry. Each word hurts. Anything for a sip of water. Faster, faster, so that it is over, so that we may rest. At last we are done. All the trucks have gone. Now we swiftly clean up the remaining dirt. There must be no trace left of the Schweinerei filth. But just as the last truck disappears behind the trees and we walk finally to rest in the shade, a shrill whistle sounds around the bend. Slowly, terribly slowly, a train rolls in. The engine whistles back with a deafening shriek. Again, weary, pale faces at the windows, flat as though cut out of paper, with huge, feverishly burning eyes. Already trucks are pulling up. Already the composed gentleman with the notebook is at his post, and the SS men emerge from the commissary carrying briefcases for the gold and money. We unseal the train doors. It is impossible to control oneself any longer. Brutally, we tear suitcases from their hands, impatiently pull off their coats. Go on, vanish. They go, they vanish. Men, women, children. Some of them know. Here is a woman. She walks quietly but tries to appear calm. A small child with a pink cherub's face runs after her and, unable to keep up, stretches out his little arms and cries, "Mama, Mama, pick up your child, woman." "It's not mine, sir, not mine," she shouts hysterically and runs on, covering her face with her hands. She wants to hide. She wants to reach those who will not ride the trucks, those who will go on foot, those who will stay alive. She is young, healthy, good-looking. She wants to live. But the child runs after her, wailing loudly, "Mama, Mama, don't leave me." "It's not mine, no." Andre, a sailor from Sevastopol, grabs hold of her. His eyes are glassy from vodka and the heat. With one powerful blow, he knocks her off her feet. Then, as she falls, takes her by the hair and pulls her up again. His face twitches with rage. "Ah, you bloody Jewess. So you're running from your own child. I'll show you, you whore." This huge hand chokes her. He lifts her in the air and heaves her onto the truck like a heavy sack of grain. "Here, and take this with you, bitch." And he throws the child at her feet. "Gut gemacht. Good work. That's the way to deal with degenerate mothers," says the SS man standing at the foot of the truck. Gut, Ruski. Good, Ruski." "Shut your mouth," growls Andre through clenched teeth and walks away. From under a pile of rags, he pulls out a canteen, unscrews the cork, takes a few deep swallows, passes it to me. The strong vodka burns the throat. My head swims. My legs are shaky. Again, I feel like throwing up.